Okay everyone, we are working on the camper bed build right here. A bunch of stuff to do, a bunch of little things. I hope to get them done in this video. Also, something happened a couple of weeks ago. I had my camera set up in my office and I came in the morning and it was on the ground and the tripod broke and the lens got smashed, so I had to get a different lens. It's not the same lens. So let me know if the quality is any different. I couldn't really see a quality difference, but some people might notice it. All right, let's put that aside and let's start working on this. If you remember, if you saw my other videos, you know this side is loose. So we are going to attach this to the side of the bed with this right here. We are going to modify this. Well, that focused pretty good. We're going to modify this. We're going to cut this piece off right around here somewhere, and that is going to allow us to hook the bed and then bolt this in. Now on this side I used two of them, but I don't think that's necessary on this one right here, because if it's in the corner and I bolt it here, it can't swivel out, I don't think, because it's in that corner and this thing's pretty wide. That's what I'm hoping for. So let's bolt it in over here in the front. We'll get it up nice and we'll see if it moves. I don't think it's going to move. It just started getting warmer out, so now the battery will charge, which means this thing turns on. You know, fridges are interesting when they're on lithium, because when they're in cold weather, the lithium battery's not going to charge, which means it's going to be dead and the fridge is going to turn off. But in reality, if it's cold enough where the lithium battery doesn't charge, you kind of don't need the fridge, right? It's so cold out that it doesn't really matter. So that's what, at least that's what I'm thinking. Now if you watch my build on this, you know that I have this little secret compartment here. And we are going to bolt it through there. Do I have anything in here? I don't. We know that the top of this is in line with that top of the bed rail. That is 1.5 inches down. I'm going to say 2 inches down we should put a hole. Maybe 1.75 inches. That's probably better. Okay. So now that goes in perfect. And we got enough room on this side. Yeah, we got to grab on this side. So we're just going to cut this thing off. Let's get it in the vise. This is the, I got face shield on. This is a 1765, the Wilton 1765 Tradesman. If you watched my shop build video, this second part, this is the end of the video. You know, I got this for like, I think I had it for $350. It's a $1,000 vise. This is brand new. In the box, paperwork, wrapped up, everything brand new. I drove 2 hours to go pick it up. It's really, if you go onto the website right now to try and buy this, it's $1,000. It's clean. Okay. So let's get this thing here. We just gotta hold it until it catches, and then once it catches, you can just tighten it up. That's in there tight. Now the question is that can it still rotate out? I mean, I think it can move, but I don't see how it can rotate out. Yeah, that's it. It can just move this much. It can move 1 inch. That's it. And then it stops because it hits the wall. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. That's perfect. That's going to make it easier to remove. I guess that's like the benefit of not having a permanently installed system here, is that when you have to remove it, you can. I guess you could call it a self-contained system. That's kind of the better word for it, right? It's just they're self-contained units that you just put in and take out. Next quick thing we'll do here is put some T-track in. This is just, you know, just black T-track, and I'm going to put it 2 on either side. I don't know, I may have to cut. Let's put this one in first, and then it looks like we'll have to cut that other one. So we're doing this because 2 things. One is to give us a spot to hang stuff if we want it, but also in the future I want to make this a sleeping platform, which means I'll have to put a board here, and this will allow me to support that board. 2 on either side. Now we gotta cut off, not much. Those are in, and now we'll fill the rest of the holes. We'll do the rest of the holes. Well, we don't really need to right now. That'll work for, oh, you know what, that's a good idea actually. So we got 3 screws holding each one in, and that should be good enough until we want to put a board up here. And at that point, I'll get the inch screws and fill it. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so these are good, and that's going to work for whatever I want to do for right now. The next, and I would say last thing we'll do for this video is, I guess, something more complicated. Not crazy complicated, but somewhat complicated. All right, let me bring it over. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do in this video is install this Lagoon table. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I've done a lot of research on tables, and it seems like there's a ton of knockoffs, you know, all different types of names, but it seems like the right thing to do is just to spend the money and buy the Lagoon table. It might be $100, $125. A knockoff might save you 40 or 50 bucks. Doesn't seem worth it from what everybody says. So it's very easy to install. Now, one thing, let me show you how it works. Now, I wouldn't call this a fold-away table. I would call it a put-away. We're going to use this spot as an example right here. Here's a plate. Actually, I believe you're supposed to put this on first. And you're going to bolt it to something. This can slide up and down with this handle here. And you can take this part off via this handle. And you can rotate the table and tighten it via this handle. Now this means that what you can do is that you can bolt this plate on into its spot and detach the entire table and these 2 pieces, put it somewhere so that you have a big open space, and then when you want to use it, take it out and put it together, and it's very easy to put together. Or you could, let's see, am I doing this the right way? Yeah. You can have it attached like this and then rotate it into the spot that you want it and then rotate it away. You can do that. But it doesn't rotate this way from what I can tell. No, it doesn't. It doesn't rotate this way. You can rotate it in like this and then turn it like this and rotate it out of the way, or take it completely apart, which is what I'll probably do, and put it in this side right here. You got to use this thing. This goes behind the plate. All right. I'm gonna get it all mounted and all ready to go, and then we'll take this off and we'll paint it. But what I'm doing to hold this, I'm putting a screw in here, and we'll screw this into place, and that'll make it so that I can, you know, make it nice and level, and then drill the holes through these, and then I'll take the screw out and you won't see it because the plate will be over it. So that's good. Easy. That worked perfectly. Check out this hardware. I mean, this is really what you're paying for, quality hardware. Look at that. Look at the way that sits. That's mint. Get on there. Okay, now this thing works is that there it is. Just needs to be pulled out, tightened. You can't over tighten these things, that's what they say. Clearly to use this thing needs to be up. You ain't using this when it's not up. Ah! Case in point. Oh, jeez. So that's perfect. I mean, that's... Yeah, wow. So now what we need to do is... I'm off screen, yes. What we need to do now is get a board. And I have 3/4 birch, so I'll just 3/4 birch this thing. And I can even do, I have a clear spray sealant that I can spray on it too. Okay, before we detach this, let's cut our board, put it on here, make sure it's good, and wow, this thing is so sturdy. It's unbelievable how sturdy this thing is. It's worth the extra couple bucks for sure. I mean, for a laptop or eating or whatever, this is going to be good. Let's get a tape measure and figure out how long this thing should be. 20 inches. That's probably good. 20 inches by a foot. 16 inches. 20 inches by 16 inches. I don't want to make it too big. I think 12 inches would be too small. Gotta be 16 inches. You know, I mean, like a bigger laptop for sure. 16 inches by 20. All right. So we're just going to use the circular saw, but because we're cutting out of this wacky shape, it's really not possible to use the table saw. It's just 120. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. So I'm glad tell you what, birch plywood is really expensive. That's why I saved that wacky shaped piece, because I mean a 4x8 3/4 birch plywood, it's like $100 at least. That's it right there for sure. That looks great. Now let's double check that we can sit behind this, because I have it centered here. Maybe strength-wise, centering it is going to be the best. I mean, honestly, I could have made this bigger, but I think that this is good. Yeah. Okay. So this is just fast-drying polyurethane. This is clear semi-gloss. You got to make sure no dust. If you want to get crazy, you can even wipe it down with like a wet rag if you wanted to. But that should be good. Any marks on here? They are on here. So once you put the clear on there, it's over. Okay. Just gonna get the edges too. It says fast drying. I love when things say it's fast drying. What does that mean, fast drying? Recoat within 2 hours. If unable to do so, wait a minimum of 72 hours. Ah, Jesus Christ. After final coat, allow 24 hours. Come on now, that's not fast drying. Fast drying to me is like 10 minutes. All right, well, we're gonna have to leave that. So let's, stupid thing. Let's take apart the actual frame and spray that thing black. Just using this undercoating. It's like a flat black. And I only need to do this side and the edges. I don't need to do the other side. All right, all this stuff's got to dry, so probably tomorrow morning I'll put this on, and for you it'll be 2 seconds. For me it'll be 12 hours. All right, it's the next morning, and this is the side that I sprayed. This is 3 coats, and it's been drying for 15 hours, something like that. And this side is the bottom, and I did not spray this. And I sprayed the edges. Now I could do this in the middle, but I'm thinking it might be smarter to cheat it a little bit to one side. Just a little bit. Because since this thing can swivel all over the place, it would make more sense. It would be more versatile if one side was hanging off a little bit more. Yeah, that's in there. All right, good. So that's the top. Now we need to get that spacer that I painted black. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so there it is. It's good. This will be fine. It'll kind of just blend in a little bit. I mean, it's not painted solid, but I think that'll work. And this thing just drops right on here. Perfect. And we tighten it up a little bit. And then this still swivels. Alright, so let's take a seat again. Alright. Now this is the far away one. This is the close one. So, could somebody actually use it on this side? Yeah, look at that. Alright, so somebody could even use it on the opposite side, like this. Well, I'm really glad I offset this thing and didn't center it. And the one issue I do see is that you really don't, well, I mean, it's very strong, so I don't think it's going to swivel, but clearly if it did swivel, it's going to hit this window. So it would be smart not to drive with this thing. I mean, easy enough to just pull off. I mean, you just loosen this thing up and yank it off. All right, let's see if it fits in there. Yeah, oh wow. It actually fits perfectly right there. I really didn't even consider this when I was deciding on the width, but any wider, if it would have been 17 inches, we would have had a problem. Okay, we did some good work in this video. We got this bolted in, 1 bolt. I like that. Twice a year I'll probably be removing it. We got the T-track put in, and that's going to allow me to hang some things, but also in the future I can attach something to it that will allow me to bear a platform on top to make this a sleeping area. That's going to be good. And the last thing we did was that Lagoon table. Now, I just looked up the Lagoon table because I wanted to just get the exact price. I've been saying $100 and $125 the whole video. It's not. It's not $125. It's $200. Now, it was worth $200 a year ago. I would buy it again for $200. I'll also link to that in the description. You cannot buy it on Amazon, but I'll also link to some knockoffs on Amazon. And maybe you can save 75 bucks or something. The last thing I'm going to talk about in this video actually is these things, which I haven't put on. If you watch when I built these boxes, I talked about these nets. They're like Velcro, and I haven't put them on. The reason I haven't put them on yet is because once you put them, you don't really want to take these off and on. This Velcro is crazy strong, and It's once you put this thing on there, it takes some real effort to get them off, which is great. And these things are cheap. I'll link to them in the description. But this is like a 2-foot one. It stretches. And I'm going to stick these on the side of this box. I'm going to put these 2-footers on this left one. And then I have two 2-footers. And then I have these, which are 1-footers. And I'm going to probably just put one right there. But these are great. They're really good. I mentioned a laptop. Not that you really want to just keep these things. If you're hanging around the truck, you could definitely slip a laptop in there and it'll hold it in the back. I wouldn't put this in there and then leave the truck, clearly, because someone will just look in the window and see it. But now, actually, that's interesting. I don't have windows on that side. I only have them on this side. And somebody just recently asked me, why do I only have windows? Man, we're going off on a tangent here. Why do I only have windows on this side and not that side? And my thought was two things. Is that one is that if I wanted to put windows on this side in the future, I could. But I wanted it so that I could position the truck this way or that way to allow sun through or not allow sun through, if that makes sense, right? I wanted it to, if the sun was going to rise on this side, and I wanted to be able to see the sunrise, I would position it so that these windows are here. But let's say someone was sleeping on this side, and the sun rises at 5:30 or something, and it's blaring right in there. Well, I could turn the truck this way, and then the sun wouldn't come in. It would still be dark. It would be very dark in here for a while. So that's why I went windows on one side and none on the other side. But if I'm putting these on here, you could look in the window and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So that's interesting, right? So I think that it's definitely more secure having windows only on one side too. So I'm going to put these over here. I'll put both of these there, and that'll be cool. So that's it. Anything that I use that I can link to in the description, I will. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. All right, everyone. See you.